sports.
All right.
Touching grace.
Yes.
Hey, do you guys mind? I want to try something real quick, but I want to get your permission before I do it. I have a Twitch stream. I want to see if I can record and stream at the same time and just try to stream maybe a minute of us. Is that okay?
Fine by me.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, never
Do
mind.
I get a G
I don't
Fuel
have.
sponsorship?
Yeah, that's exactly. I was just gonna say. I was gonna make sure I sponsor you with Ezra's and my dice making venture, or my
I still need to make mirror dice.
or my blacksmith forge. It's the Jackass Forge.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't have it set up, so don't worry about it. I'll try it next time, maybe. It just is another way to record. It'll record it to the Twitch stream, and not and then he could watch it that way too. If we'll see how it works with the YouTube or however we publish this. All right.
One of my players in my other game records every session.
Uh-huh.
And has been doing so. So now there's like, I don't even know how many, an obscene amount of hours and hours and hours of us playing. And I know that he uploads them to YouTube just fine. I think it just takes a while.
Yeah, I mean, you have to once the video is made, you have to convert the video and then upload it. It does take a while, but especially the size of these files will be really big. We'll see. I mean, if everybody wants me to record them all, I'll record them all, but otherwise I'll just do the ones for people that miss or something, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, I think sometimes the music is an issue, and it might like cut out the audio. But for the most part, I think he's found that if you unlist them, like you don't make them public, that it's a non-issue.
Yeah, nobody's gonna DMCA my Twitch stream with my affiliate status. It's not a monetized channel because I don't have any subscribers or anything. I used to stream a bunch of Destiny 2 games, and then when I stopped playing I stopped streaming altogether. I still have all the stuff set up for it, but I just don't have. I use a different program to stream.
Mm-hmm.
But I could set this one up to do it. I'll try it maybe next week or something.
Yeah, sounds good. Is everybody comfy? Got everything they need?
Ready spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. So, we are out of initiative, and I believe I heard Star say he was going to investigate some of these creatures.
Yeah, I just want to see if we can learn anything about the type of creature, or if they have anything valuable on them, or if everybody else wants to do that. I guess I would rather you guys do that, and I'd like to go back to the ship and get Jackson, and maybe cast a Cure Wounds on him to stabilize him, maybe, and try to get him to the dock, or this guy, the old man that was dodging over here, ask him if he can tell us. Well, Roland, you've been here before, right?
I actually don't think so.
Martin
and I grew up on the other side of the pond. I don't ever think I came out here.
Maybe I would just say, Roland, perhaps this gentleman knows where we can go to get Jackson this help, or to find your cousin. I'm going to go find Jackson and make sure he's okay. I'll go back to the ship and get some of the crew members to help me, like with a litter, to put Jackson on a litter and make sure he's tied up, and then everybody else, if they want to search the whatever those goblins or whatever those things, treasure goblins.
Yeah, I think Jorg wants to sort of take a closer look at them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, give me like, do you want to do like a nature check or an investigation check? Like, are you trying to like loot them, or you want to like learn about them?
Can I do both?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I'll roll investigation first. See what I can find. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. So, as you kind of like search through their like they don't really have pockets per se. They're kind of dressed in rags. The few like little pouches that you might find as you reach your hand in are filled with like bones, like a dead spider, like maybe a few like loose teeth from some undisclosed creature. The kind of things that maybe this type of creature would find interesting or fascinating. What you do surmise, though, with that investigation check is that if you had some vials, you could perhaps collect some of the um, secretions that these creatures were making.
I actually am really good at that, by the way. Oh, you have a poisoner's kit, don't you?
I
If you're an,
should.
if you're an assassin rogue,
I have.
I can
Oh, I
assist
have
you.
proficiency.
I can assist you if you know. I mean, if you'd like that, I can assist you. Because I would like some of that sticky stuff for my net.
Okay, so I didn't take one. Can I just add one? It would make sense for me to have one, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I think he would definitely have one. So you can give me a check with your poisoner's kit to collect some of this stuff.
There it is.
Uh,
All right. So I'm proficient in. Well, that would be like intelligence, right, for poisoners.
Yes.
Sounds right to me. Yeah.
As I walked
Alright.
by to their ship, I tapped you on their shoulder and said, "Good luck," and gave you guidance.
Okay. Let me just do this real quick. Intelligence, efficient. This is poison. Okay.
So you can roll a d20, add your proficiency bonus, so a +2,
Yeah.
and then your intelligence modifier, whatever that is. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, plus guidance.
Oh, plus guidance, which is a D4. Oh, there we go.
Okay. I'd say you'd be able to collect one vial of it. Roll me a D100. We're going to do a 50-50 check here, whether it's going to be the sticky or the slippy.
All right. 32.
Okay. So you you gather up this stuff, and you have one potion of spider climb. One potion
Ooh.
of climb.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Roland, this guy here, you see he's got the onion around his neck, and he picks it up, and he says, "Well, a lot of use this did," and he just takes a bite out of it as if it were like an apple. Just starts like munching down on it.
I see. Sold some snake oil. I see.
Well, no, didn't buy it. Just was told that it would be it'd be good for warding off these creatures.
Do you mind if I ask who told you such a thing?
Oh, of course, it's the good lady Brioni. She's the wise woman in town.
Okay. Does she operate out of a church?
Oh no. She stays far away from the abbey. You see, the church don't look too kindly on the kind of craft she practices, but they leave each other alone well enough, as long as she don't stir up too much trouble, which she don't. She's a very nice lady and helps out as well as she can. But I think this one was a dud.
Yes, I think so as well. Can you point me in the direction of the abbey? We have a man who needs tending.
Oh, do you now? Okay. And he points over to the northeast, and you see what looks like a steeple being constructed, not like really, just like really, really close. I'm gonna take you over to the Eastwood map here.
Oh man, what a great map!
Yeah, isn't it nice?
Could you post
So-
that to the to one of the channels eventually,
Yes,
so I
I
can
sure
print
can.
it? Thanks.
I sure can. Just full disclosure, I did not make this one. I altered it for my own
There's
purposes.
a fucking lighthouse.
Okay, so y'all are here at the South Docks. He points you over in this direction. You see what looks to be like a half completed steeple. He says, "That's the cathedral construction. They're building a nice, big, beautiful church here. And just beyond that is the Eastwood Abbey. That's where they're all operating out of now while the cathedral's being made. There's the good abbot Albert, Friar Taff. They should they should um they should fix you up quite nice. But you do know, as is custom, to keep the facilities running and the construction building, they usually charge for that kind of thing.
I don't think that'll be an issue. And what about the local lord?
Oh, yes, Sir Martin.
He's on the up and up.
Well, as up and up as you can be in times like these. He's a nice
Alright.
man, but the village is on hard times.
I understand. You've been very helpful. Thank you, my friend.
I didn't catch your name there, sir.
Sir Roland Brant. And I'm gonna kind of extend my hand, showing the sigil ring.
Yeah, he you can see that it doesn't like quite click in his mind at first, and as he like goes out and like just shakes your hand, just like grimy, dirty hand. He like grabs it, and then as it kind of sinks in, he's like, "Oh, oh, my lord, my apologies, at your service. The name's Hamfast."
Are there so many ham names?
It's medieval times, is what they do.
I want to know if he has a pineapple sauce though.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Worry not. You attend one of my dinners, and I'll get you set up very nice.
He's just kissing the ring.
Oh, Hamfast, please. I don't need.
Bear puts away his ring.
I don't need such customs. I'm not the local lord. I'm just here to visit. In fact, I'm gonna hand him a gold coin. I'd like it if you didn't go spreading the word that I'm here yet.
His eyes go wide at that. He says, "Oh, oh my! Of course, your secret is safe with me, Sir Roland."
Thank you, my friend.
God, I wish I was there. I would kiss your ring, and I would hold out my hand for a gold coin.
He stands back up, and you see with like the wide grin at receiving the coin is he's missing many a tooth, and the few that remain are in rough shape. And he just kind of like runs a tongue over them and sticks the coin in his pocket. He says, "This will go a long way indeed."
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm just gonna kind of rest my hand on his shoulder, and I'll say, "Why don't you go get yourself to safety? Me and my friends can take it from here."
"Oh, of course, of course. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you. And with coin like that, if you ever need more information, just come and find me."
Where you set up shop, Hamfast?
He points at this building here. He says, I'm the dockmaster."
Oh, excellent. Good to know.
And he'll come into his building. You hear him talking to the other guy in the other room. He says, "A whole gold coin."
And his name was Roland Blant!
I don't know why I bother. Hey, Hey, Yorick. How'd you make out?
Well, I got some sticky juice in a bottle.
Yeah, funny you
So-
should say that. And I'm gonna show him my back. How does it look? Is it bad?
Eric is gonna be like, "Oh no, it's fine, it's fine," and he's very clearly lying.
Deep down, I appreciate that. Thank you. Alright, now, to get Jackson some help.
Yeah, we can go back to the ship map here.
I'll just come up. I mean, I guess unless there's something else we need to do on the ship.
I'm saying goodbye to Hot Boy.
Oh, well, I look
That's very
over and,
cute.
and I see the awkward interchange that's about to happen, and I escort a couple of the shipmates off of the boat with I guess like we'll make like a litter for Jackson, and ask Captain Bessa to join us, and we'll go to the Abbey. And as I walk up the gangplank, I'm gonna say, Roland, your coat, it looks terrible, and keep walking.
Roland looks as though he's been stabbed. Yeah, as they kind of make their way, Roland is just going to. Is Captain Crowley getting off the boat?
So Crowley is he's kind of at the moment just like leisurely leaning against the helm. He is kind of like watching the lot of you. It seems like maybe he feels like he needs to get some information out of the way. Just kind of like maybe just like giving you a little gesture of like we should probably talk.
Sounds good. Roland's gonna come over and be like, "Now, Crowley, I know we have a lot to discuss, but can I borrow your close vision rod again?"
Oh, the spyglass.
Yes.
Well, by all means. And he reaches in his cloak and hands it to you.
Thank you. I'll just need it for a moment, and I'm gonna zoom in and look at Mirror and see how the transaction goes.
Very
I
nice.
should be like, "Come on, you can do it. Tell him how you feel."
Yeah, so Oldham has come to join you at the top of the ship here, and he takes your hands and places the stone in it, and he says, "Don't worry. I'm quite sure this is what Gully wants."
And I'm fine with that. If you're okay with this, I'll take very good care of him, and one day, I'll make sure that he gets back to you.
Of course. Just means that you'll have to come and visit.
If I wanted to, where would I find you? Or is there a good place for me to send letters? Or
Well, to be honest, your friend Seven Stars convinced me to leave my job with the Broken Coast Company, and I'm glad he did. This has been the most interesting experience I've had in a long time, and I think I'd like to keep up with Crowley for a while. And what I heard from him is that we're going to be docked at port here if you and your friends so desire it.
and Mirror instantly whips out like 5 pieces of paper and writes it down in like 7 different places, just so he's absolutely positive that he doesn't lose it. He's like scribbling numbers on the back of his hand, like super old school, making sure he doesn't lose this.
For sure. Yeah, Oldham says, I mean, it's best that somebody talks to the captain, but from what I understand, he wants to remain at your beck and call for the next little while, as long as he can.
Come on.
Do I feel myself being watched? Can I sense this?
Do you want to do an insight check?
Yes,
Or-
I do
yeah, okay.
actually. I do want to see how many people are watching this. Fuck.
Maybe you're just like it's hard to take your eyes off of his face.
His rugged, hot
Yeah.
sailor face. I don't know. I kind of like tuck my hands behind my back and rock back and forth on my feet, and I say, "What just fell over?" Ugh. Anyway, I kind of tuck my hands and rock back and forth on my feet for a second, and I say, "Would you mind if I came to see you?"
Mind. I'd be hoping for it.
And Mirror blushes and says, "Good, because I'm going to miss you."
Me too. And I hope I won't have to. I hope I will see you very soon.
Well, you know, if luck would have it, but if luck isn't on my side, and I kind of look around real quick and like crook my finger at him like I've got something secret to say.
Yes?
Come down here. Get closer. Come here.
He leans.
And I kiss him on the cheek and turn around and dash 80 feet away from him.
Roland, as you're watching this, you see that happen, and Oldham kind of like places his palm against his cheek, and you can see that he's maybe just as stunned as Miramare as he runs away.
Yeah, Roland is gonna openly be like, "Woo!" and then almost drop the spyglass and then catch it. Like, oh,
Are you done peeping?
yes, yes. I thought I spotted one of the fish people out there. Just being safe.
Right. Now, I'm planning on docking up here for a while. Probably anchor in the bay. It's a little cheaper that way. But I feel I owe you at least a little bit more of time. I wouldn't be sailing with this whole crew if it weren't for the lot of you. And we've been talking, me and the crew of the Headway, and I think we're gonna work together for a while. Bessa and I sharing duties. I'm getting quite old after all. I might need someone to take over for me at some point, so we're gonna share the captaining duties.
Roland's gonna pull out this kind of small leather bag from his pouch and just kind of gently place it in his hands. He can probably tell that it's got like some money in it. He's just gonna put his hands on his shoulders and then bring him in for a hug. And he'll say, "Thanks for the ride, Crowley. That's for the crew."
Of course. You can see he can hear a little emotion in his voice. He says, "I'll tell you what. I'll leave the rowboats down here at the dock. We'll cover the cost of those. We'll anchor out in bay, and we'll send Smirk and Herring down to the local inn. So if you need to come back to the ship, they can bring you back. How about that?"
Sounds like a plan. And then I'm gonna give him kind of like a formal like noble like salute, and I'll say, "Captain."
Sir, been me pleasure.
Mine as well. I hope to see you soon.
Likewise, and may your boots be ever damp.
Got enough problems to deal with.
Why would you wish that on him?
It's a throwback to one of Seth's old characters.
Oh, hot.
He was a Triton, and that was his like blessing on people.
Yeah. Oh, Gozu. The worst person I ever had to kill.
That's right. Josh is brutal.
Yeah. All right.
As we're walking away, if I overheard that, as we were walking away, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy to make my voice 3 times as loud. I hope your boots are wet too!
Very nice.
Oh, yes. All right.
So I would say, did you cast the Cure Wounds on Jackson?
I did.
Okay. You would sense that it did very little for him, and he seems to be like convulsing. Um, Bessa is just very not nervously, but coldly. I don't know if that's the right word, but she's got an air of leadership about her with deep concern for this individual. But you can sense the almost like she's like taking a step back, like she doesn't know if he's gonna make it.
Well, if it's
You know,
definitely that bad, then I'm gonna make a point out of getting Roland. So, Roland, I think it is time we must get to the. What did you say? The Abbey? I think you said we must go to this Abbey. I don't know where it is. Please show us the way.
Yes. Right this way. And I will take them to the area that Hamfast had pointed out.
yeah. So as you make your way, the narrow peninsula that seems to harbor most of the village is windswept. Most of the trees around appear to be bowing in prayer. Small shrubs abound, and they grow in front of most of the houses along the cobblestone road. The village has an air of newness to it. Indeed, the village hasn't even seen 15 years yet, though it doesn't have the pride of being the first Alassian settlement in Kalin, that honor belonging to Corringham. It's among the first. And as you travel, most of the activity you see in town is villagers who are walking wheelbarrows, each filled with several heavy looking bricks of stone. They're all seems to be like clockwork in a lineup, a line of them bringing in these wheelbarrows full of stone bricks, and on the other side, empty wheelbarrows heading up the road north westward. Um, Eventually you approach the abbey, passing the construction site. You kind of have to make your way around it to get to the abbey, and it seems that they are indeed building a cathedral. You watch as the villagers empty their loads of stone onto a growing pile, while others bring them to a pulley system that perilously raise the bricks up to where people are working on scaffolds. It's noisy and busy, and the people look tired and dirty as they work away.
I'll walk up to one of the workers and say, "Excuse me,
Ah!
I, I'm looking for Abbot Albert."
Oh, you want to go that way? And he points, and through a line of trees, you see a quite a like gentle looking uh, building, the Abbey building. He says, right through there, lots of priests, some acolytes, things of the nature.
Thank you
Kind of
very
spits
much.
on the ground. You sense that he doesn't necessarily, like, this is a job to him. He
Oh,
maybe not the most. He doesn't care that much.
well, thank you, my good man.
Indeed.
I'm gonna walk onward.
Yeah. And soon you pass through the tree line, and you all make your way in front of the abbey. I'll put you down. So you see this stone building before you, a set of stone stairs leading up to a pair of double doors. Um, when you get this close to the doors, you smell the that unmistakable sour smell of brewing beer. in various stages. The uh, the building is uh, tallest in this portion over here. You see it has a steeple right before you with a open face and a bell dangling above it. And the rest over here seems to be just one story, maybe lodging for monks and things of the like.
Mm.
Why is he so big?
So that he's big, you're small.
I'm gonna cast while we were walking. I'm gonna cast Bless on Jackson. Give him advantage on a saving throw if he's doing any saves or anything like that, or give him a D4 on a saving throw if he has to make any of that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. I guess I'll knock.
Yes, please make haste. Try to get someone down here right away. Jackson's not doing very well.
The door is open. Get rid of it. The door's open. You see a monk before you, in robes, humble robes. He says, "Oh, my children, space is open for all. No need to knock, please."
We need urgent care for a gentleman.
And I'll just kind of push in with Jackson. They say, I believe he has a curse. We need someone immediately, please.
Yeah, the monk looks him over and he says, "Oh my. Yes, please, bring him in quickly." And he rushes into the main sanctuary here. You see as he comes over to this individual over here and he starts whispering in his ear. And finally, as he's whispering, he's like, you can see he's nodding, and then he looks up at the lot of you coming in and sees Jackson and says, "Oh, yes." And he rushes, his many robes swishing behind him. "This one is ill. What happened to him?"
We believe he has some sort of curse. There was a creature of the sea that turned men into sea monsters. If that makes any sense to you, but I have cast all of my healing. It is not a poison or a disease. It doesn't appear to be any sort of magical effect. So that leaves me to believe it's most likely a curse. But he's quite ill.
The man shakes his head, saying, like, in response to, like, no, he's never encountered anything like this before. But he says, "These isles are strange. Nothing surprises me anymore. Let's lay him down." You see that he's acting with quite a bit of compassion, as he kneels down over Jackson. Bessa is kind of just like watching on with her arms crossed, and the man raises his hands out before him and just starts running his hands over him. And you see as he's whispering prayers and incantations, and finally the color begins to return to Jackson's face, and he starts coughing out the last of the salt water. "This man will need rest, and a lot of it. Powerful curse indeed. Is he the only one?" He looks over at Mirror. "Not sure I can help you with that."
Oh no!
I mean, no offense.
No, he is.
Mirror
He is quite.
blushes instantly and tucks his wings behind him and presses against a wall.
My apologies. I meant no offense.
No, he is. He's quite healthy. No issues there. But perhaps you could look at my friend here, and I'll point at Captain Bessa, and ask him to check Captain Bessa because I don't know that she doesn't have it.
Says, "Can never be too careful."
And I until I level up, I can't detect curses.
Yeah. He invites Bessa to sit down on one of the seats, and he comes over and starts talking to her and kind of like hovering his hands around her, reaching out to feel. Um, so there's a few things that you notice as this conversation is happening. Uh, there is stained glass windows along the side of the sanctuary here. They seem to be telling a story of some kind, or at least showing scenes of historical moments or moments of spiritual importance to the story of Ava. You see two very interesting individuals up in the corner here over the fountain. They um, heavily armored uh, tiefling with dark blue skin. She is kind of rubbing her hands together, and from her palms, pink flowers are falling into the fountain here, and you can see that she's kind of praying. And this woman beside her is kneeling next to the fountain as well, and praying as well. Um, and as you notice that, um, a much more well dressed individual steps through the door, followed by a man who is filthy, dressed in rags, with a incredibly stern look on his face. And despite his um, attire, he carries himself as a man with great importance. And the well dressed man next to him seems to be treating him that way as well. They kind of congregate around the tiefling, and you see that they're kind of engaged in conversation. The individual over here finishes, and you see that he casts the spell as well. And he says, "Oh, I did not detect the curse. I figured better safe than sorry, right?"
Well, yes, absolutely. It's a good thing. We're very, very grateful to you to save our good friend Jackson and to ensure that Captain Bessa here is well. They've been through quite a bit. What is your name, friend?
My name is Taff.
Oh,
The
that was the
prior.
Taff. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh.
I'm the prior. I'm Prior Taff.
Prior Taff, we are much in your debt. Thank you so much for saving our good friend Jackson.
He kind of scratches his head and says, I very much don't like to speak about it beforehand. Prefer to help. There is policy. Um,
Oh, yes,
for
yes. You um were asking for payment. Okay. How much is and I'll pull out my I don't really care have a lot of money, but I'll pull out my coin purse and like hold it out to him and let him dig through and dig out whatever he wants out of it.
he says, "No, I won't charge you for the captain."
I have 12 whole silver pieces in it.
He says, "A spell of that nature would cost um, um, you can tell he's kind of hesitating."
Mirror, seeing this, just kind of sighs and walks over and hands him 2 gold pieces and is like holding his wings behind him with his other hand, like he's afraid he's gonna touch him.
Oh,
He,
I look a little embarrassed that like I don't even really know like. I mean, I know what money is, and I've used money, but I didn't realize that 12 silver wasn't a lot. Is this
no,
is this
yeah,
enough?
yeah. He kind of puts his head down and roll me an insight check.
I'll roll an insight check, and then I'm gonna call for Sir Roland.
Yes. Mirror
Why did
Mary,
I waste a nat 20 on this?
It's never
You notice
wasted.
that that Taff looks over at this well-dressed individual and kind of sighs before he continues speaking, and says, "I'm afraid it's fairly shy of the the tithe requirement."
Well, then what's the tithe requirement?
Yeah, I'll let the rich people do the talking here. I'm just gonna be happy that I'm just smiling like, hey, thank you.
Miramir is. This is actually the first time any of you have seen him, except for Seven Stars, who's seen him in every mood. Miramir is a little upsetty spaghetti, and he is very firmly in noble mode rather than fun fairy mode. He's holding himself a little higher, his eyes are half lit, and he does not look happy. How much is it?
It's like you can tell it's painful for him to like spit it out, and he says, 50 gold pieces.
And I hand him an additional 23 gold pieces. So that's 25.
As this is
Yeah.
happening, this man, it seems to have caught the attention of this man over here. He says, "Now, Taff, what? Can't you see these people are struggling? Can't you see they require the aid of Ava?" "Well, yeah, of, of course, Theodosus." You can see that Taff is still again looking over at the well-dressed man here, who's kind of like staring at Taff. Theodosus approaches and he says, "Now, when I came to Eastwood, I was told of a generous people in a new land, people that looked out for each other, and this is what I was looking forward to. Please, return their gold." Taff kind of like sighs, like relief, and he's like, "Oh, yes, of course, Theodosus," and hands the gold back to you, Miramar.
I've just gone back to checking on Jackson. I've like noticed that this is well out of my purview, and I'm gonna let Roland and Miramir do the talking.
Yes, the man gracefully walks towards you, both his hands tucked into his the opposing sleeve, so they're hidden in his long flowing linen gown, which is it's filthy and tattered and torn. It looks like he's never taken it off. Um, he says, "Besides, what good is gold when the church is in such need?"
And Miramir kind of arches a brow and says, "Need. Seems the church hasn't even been built yet."
Exactly. And from what I hear, they've hit a roadblock. Isn't that right, Abbot? And the well-dressed man kind of hurries over, quite like um, squirrely. Uh, "Oh yes, Theodosus." His like head kind of bowed whenever he's near the man, which is odd because he named this man the Abbot, which should be the head of the abbey. Um, and the abbot approaches and says, "A roadblock we have reached, indeed. You see, the the vile Marda have stopped us from accessing the mine where we were collecting stone. We are running very low. Any day now we will have to cease construction." "Yes. And As I have come to teach, says Theodosus, Ava is not a goddess of peace. She is the sword and fire. We are all but the grains of sand that fall within her hourglass. Ava cannot turn and restart the cycle without every grain falling. It is our duty to make all bow to Ava's will, no matter the manner. That is the greatest act of servitude we can give the goddess. Now, these Marda, these wood elves, they're Feyland friends. They refuse to see the grace and power of the goddess. They would withhold the mine that builds her temple.
These wood elves. Their
Oh,
eyes dark like night, hair blonde.
Many of them, yes.
Where is this mine located?
To the north of the village.
I see. Well, I have a quick business matter to attend, but I definitely like to investigate these Marta, and if they seem to be in violation, then you can consider me the flaming sword of Ava.
He reaches out and places a hand on your shoulder. You can smell him. He smells like body odor. And as he gets like close to you, you see like layers of dirt that are like caked into his face. He says, "You see the truth. Very good. I expect to see good things from you. And I am pleased to see it here in this new land. Now, I will take your leave." And he turns his you see this long trail of tattered linen trailing behind him as he leaves.
As he's walking away, could I holler at him? Like,
yes, of course.
like uncultured, not knowing that that's the way you don't yell in a church and say, "Oh, before
Yes,
you go, Abbot Theodosus, thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. He will be very nice. We appreciate all of your hospitality. Thank you so much."
give me an insight check.
Insight check. I'm gonna beat this man's ass.
20.
Yes, he has specifically been eyeing you and Miramare. And as you call out and speak that to him, he kind of like scowls at you, almost like he hears you. He hears you, but he's just going to ignore it, and gives you a little bit of a scowl. But then quickly turns to like to like a serene, almost like a facade of kindness, and continues his walk away.
I would be smiling from ear to ear, even after that, especially after the insight, and it would be killing him with kindness. I really, truly am grateful, and I'm not trying to be deceitful about it. I am very grateful to him, but I also think I have his number now, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that...
Miramare, on the other hand, looks like he's 2 seconds away from jumping over these pews.
The abbot is kind of like rushing to follow Theodosus, and yeah, just like head down, rushing away, and he makes his way away as well.
Was Theodosus not the abbot? The abbot was the rich dressed guy, right?
Yes, the abbot was the rich
and we don't know what Theodosus is. He's just, but everybody's paying him difference.
Yes.
Okay.
It seems that even the abbot is deferring to whoever Theodosus is. Taff, you see him almost like kind of like relax when the two of them leave. His eyes almost kind of like saying sorry without speaking it with his lips. says, "Well, I suppose Theodosius has spoken."
So if you're the prior, and what is the abbot's name? We never got the abbot's name.
Yes, Abbot Eilbert.
Albert?
Eilbert. It's
Oh,
like E-I-L.
Eilbert.
Yes, yes. He says, "Yes,
So Abbot Eilbert, and what does, it appears that Theodosius, he's not dressed like the rest of you, but he seems to be very important. Who is he?
you've never heard of Theodosius."
Oh, no, I've never heard of Theodosius, but I'm a simple man from far away, so don't judge me too harshly.
Of course not. Not all are as invested in the inner workings of the church as us. They call him the Pauper. He's a prophet from the capital, Alasia. His reputation precedes him. He kind of leans forward, lowering his voice, and says, "His beliefs are influencing the church, and not all like the direction it is going."
What influence does he have on the church? What does he? What are his beliefs?
He kind of looks around the sanctuary and says, kind of notices the monks and the nuns kind of like around, and he says, "Oh yes, Theodosius is a wise man."
Oh, and I'll like kind of look side to side, like confused for a second, like pretending like I don't get what he's doing, and then I'll be like, "Oh yes, yes, of course, he's very kind for you to heal my friend." And then I make a mental note, talk to Prior Albert Taft later with sneak
Yes.
mode.
Yes. Please let me walk you out. I'll give you a little. As is custom, you're new to town, right?
Oh yes. Is there a place that we can put Mr. Jackson for him to heal here at the Abbey? I am assuming that's what
Absolutely.
the Abbey is here for. Yes.
Absolutely. We will take good care of him. And he comes into this room, and as he opens the door, you see large kegs. The smell of the brewing beer kind of wafts out, and he returns with a small handheld sized keg, and returns to you and hands it over to you, and he says, "Please take this as as an offering of your arrival here in Eastwood on behalf of the Abbey."
Oh, it's very nice, and I go to hold it, and it like I'm sure it's heavy, and it probably I'm like holding much too large of a like a kid trying to hold luggage.
Mhm.
And I'll just set it down on the ground, like, and I'll get somebody to come carry it later.
For sure. And with that, he'll the monks and the acolytes will help Jackson away to a place to rest.
Captain Besta, perhaps you should go with Jackson to find out where he'll be keeping. I would like to come and check on you later. And
Yes,
mostly,
of
I don't
course.
want him. I don't want him to get scurried, like hustled away without us knowing where he's gonna be.
Just I'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her kind of a wink, like keep close so that we can check on you later.
For sure. You sense that she understands what you're kind of trying to convey. She says, "Yes, I'll keep a close eye on him."
Yeah, I'm absolutely keeping a very like overly polite visage, but I don't trust any of these people.
And yeah, Taft says, "Well, you're always welcome here at the Abbey. Why don't I walk you out?"
Okay, and then I just wanted to ask you one other thing. That's the tiefling that's up here with the armor that was crushing the flowers and pouring it into the water. Can I tell? Do I have any way of knowing, with my history and religion,
Yeah,
of
give me a
knowing
religion check.
what they're doing if they were casting a spell?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah, give me a
okay.
religion check.
Yeah, totally get it. Just
Yeah,
like we
you're
do,
not sure what
just like we do it in the Feywild.
Yes.
Okay, as we're walking out, I'm gonna ask. I want to ask Albert. Mr. Albert, can you tell me? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Prior Albert.
So Albert is the abbot, and Prior is Taff.
Oh, I thought his name was Albert Taff.
No, he's Prior Taff, and the abbot is Abbot Albert.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Prior Taff. The blue person at the other end. I don't know if I've ever seen a tiefling. I'm assuming maybe I have.
Yes, they're pretty rare.
Uh, this person
yes.
up at the front. It looked like they were doing some sort of ceremony. What is it that they were making or doing?
They're
I'm just saying it casually as we're walking. I'm not like trying to seem
Yes.
nosy, but I am being nosy.
Of course, yeah. He says, Lady Asandra. Yeah, she arrived from Ellismore not too long ago. She is preparing a journey. She is seeking guidance and protection from Ava.
Lady Asandra from where?
Ellismore.
Ellismore. Oh, this is very nice. I've never seen one with that color skin before. It's very beautiful. And then I'll keep walking out. And then I'm gonna ask Yorig. I'm gonna point back in and say, "Hey, Yorig, there's a cask of ale for you inside the church, but you have to go get it. I can't carry it." I just kind of whisper to him as I walk out. It's too heavy.
Yorig is gonna sort of roll his eyes and say, "I think I'll pass."
Oh.
An ale? What? Who are you?
He doesn't. He does not trust the church at all.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna
that's fair.
see if I pick up on that social cue, and I'm gonna go back inside, and I'm gonna roll the barrel onto its side, and I'm gonna roll it out, making a great deal of noise, being completely clueless as to the proper etiquette in a church, and roll it out. And every time somebody looks at me, I'm gonna wave and kind of keep rolling it.
That's right.
Okay, here, now you can carry it. And it probably
Yes,
rolls down the stairs, clunk, 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 and lands at Yorg's feet. And then I'm gonna turn to Marimar. I think he's a vampire.
Monk?
Yes, you have a small cask of gentle monk ale from the
All right, sweet.
Not
I guess
drinking
Yorig
that.
will just shrug and take it.
Small cask of gentle
Also-
monk ale.
Mhm.
It's probably poison.
Also, I want to know, would anyone mention the tiefling to Yorig?
Probably not.
Okay.
Maybe later. But right now, I'm kind of trying to. I kind of feel like I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't have enough money, but not really. And I'm just trying to be really polite to Prior Taff, let him know that we want him to be our friend, even though I know he doesn't want to be ours.
You sense that he actually you yeah.
I
you
have
can
plenty of role
play
play
back
for
there,
this
yeah.
week with Hal, by the way. I have a number of questions about the church
Yeah.
and about the rags to riches Theodosus the pauper and the abbot, and why they collect money and why they build giant churches when that money could be like used for other stuff. But
That's right.
Oh,
So are you all heading back through the village towards Brant Manor? Is that the plan?
wait, before that, would anyone have mentioned, what is his name? The prophet?
Theodosus,
Yeah, Theodosus. Would they have mentioned that to Yorig? And follow-up question, you said he's from the capital. Would Yorig know about that, being from the capital?
Most likely, yes.
I mean,
Okay.
I would definitely start talking to. I would fill in as we're walking to Brant Manor, and I'm going to ask Yorig. I understand you didn't want to go to the church, but I hope this ale is good, and seemed to be some weird people inside, and one of them mentioned they were from the capital. I believe you said you were too, yes?
Yes, but you
And
know,
then
we
I
don't
would,
know everyone
and that's when I would
in the
explain
capital.
Theodosius the Pauper. He's a prophet. He's apparently a very big deal. Maybe you know of him. He's
Yeah, as soon
very
as you say you don't know everybody from the capital, when he says Theodosius, your ears perk up. You've definitely heard of this individual. He's been stirring up um, quite the fervor in Alasia for the last like many years. Uh, he's taken a vow of poverty and is a traveling vagabond with a very unique interpretation of Ava's teachings that over the last 20 years has begun to be much more accepted. Um, it's a he's, for lack of a better word, an extremist.
Okay. Yorg will like sigh and be like, "Oh, that bastard. He's been nothing but trouble for me ever since the beginning."
I mean, I definitely hear him say that, and but I'm gonna continue. And there was this father, the abbot. He was very nice, Albert, and we met a Prior Taff, and there was Lady Asandra, and she was very blue. I've never seen a blue woman with horns before, and she had armor, and she was very, very pretty. And I just keep whatever face he's making, I'm completely oblivious to it. Just keep walking down the road, just like listing off all of the cool things I just saw.
Okay.
So you can make
you
of that what you will.
Yori, when he heard that her skin was blue, would have not reacted.
Mm.
And there was stained glass on the windows, and it had the pictures of the Ava. But you know what I noticed? There was no cats, and I didn't think that was very good that they forgot about the Cobalt Guide. But maybe I'll draw a picture and add it to it later.
Please vandalize this church. Please.
Just add a cat.
Like a shitty little stick figure cat.
100% there's going to be a post-it note stuck on one of those windows before we leave here with a cat.
Nice. And so I'm assuming these are the conversations that happen as you make your way towards Brant Manor.
Yep. And is
So-
the salted apple, is that the inn?
It is.
It-
Yes.
That's where Smirk and somebody I wrote in my notes.
Herring, I believe. Yeah.
They're there kind of
Yeah.
to be as liaisons. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So, compared to the rest of the homes in Eastwood, Brant Manor is a grand estate. The high stone walls of the manor stand out amongst the wooden cottages and barns that the rest of the village holds. The Brant house sits atop a windswept knoll overlooking the sea. The tall grass along the stone pathway weaves in a bustling gale as you climb the hill toward it. A few trees dot the grounds, but it seems the wind has beaten away some of the branches and many of their leaves. Eventually, you crest the top of the knoll and find two guards standing at the gates. The guards are dressed in chainmail with vests on, bearing the symbol of a boar's head in black and purple. The they hold tall halberds and each have a short sword sheathed at their waists and a shield strapped to their backs. We'll take you over to that map. Greetings, strangers. What brings you to the hall of the Lord and Lady Brant? Says the woman here holding the halberd.
I come on official business, and I'm gonna hand over my scroll of pedigree and show my sigil ring. I am Sir Roland Brant of Glockton.
She
Some-
kind of snaps to attention. Her body goes rigid, and she salutes you. She says, "My lord, um, please allow me to announce your arrival."
Thank you, and these are my counselors.
Hi.
She
Nice to
gives
meet
you
you.
all a professional nod, and she says, "Please, one moment." And she rushes off, and leaving the other guard behind, you see that he's as he was kind of like slouching before you guys came up, he's now like very much standing at attention, in respect. And a short moment later, a old, well-dressed gentleman approaches alongside the guard. He trails behind her as he keeps his balance with a cane. His cheeks and earlobes sag with age. His bald head is ringed with a well-groomed fringe of curly silver hair. The guard returns to her spot, and the old gentleman approaches the open gate. He says, "Lord Brant, we was not expecting you, but we is quite pleased to learn you are here."
Indeed, it appears that it's quite hard to get a letter out here. So I figured I'd show up myself.
Indeed. I am Mr. Febble. May I please have all of your names and titles?
I will look first to Yorig.
Full name?
Uh, this is my arms counselor, Master Dwarf Yorig.
Indeed.
Here I have my religious counselor, 7 stars.
Of the Running River tribe. Most
Yes.
most
Just
happy to
give me a
meet
quick-
most happy to meet you.
And over here I have my cultural minister,
And
Miramir.
I roll my eyes and I flash my own sigil ring and I say, Mare Aspen Wish.
Ah, an aspen wish. Very good. Sorry, did you say River Run tribe?
Running River tribe.
Just want to make sure I get it all. He's very professional. So you said cultural liaison?
Minister.
Cultural minister.
You gotta be very precise with these things.
I better look it up in my backstory to make sure I got it right.
He says, "Yes. The Lord and Lady were just sitting down for luncheon and were quite pleased to hear about your arrival, Lord Brand. Please, they've invited you to join them to eat."
Excellent. Lead the way.
Of course. And allow me to announce your entry. And he leads you all this way.
As soon as Roland starts walking off, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and lean up into his ear. I forgot, what is my job again?
Religious counselor.
Yes, of course I am. And then I'll follow.
So, Mr. Febble steps into the room here. As he opens the door, you're greeted with kind of like the smell of the fireplace burning. And Mr. Febble, he kind of like actually, Mr. Roland, as you step in, he actually kind of like puts his cane in front of you to stop you.
Oh.
He says, "Where are your manners?"
My apologies.
You see as he steps in and comes around the corner, and you hear him say, he bows forward and he says, "Lord Brant, as it pleases you, we have Lord Roland Brant of Glockton." Master Dwarf Yorig, the Arms Master, 7 stars of the Running River Tribe, the Religious Counselor, and Cultural Minister Miramare of House Aspenwish. Very good. Very good indeed. And he returns says, please, come in.
Thank you.
You step into the room to see a long table already set. It seems that the hands were quick to work when they heard of your arrival. When the guard came in to set up places, table settings for you. Miramare, this is very much the norm to you. The fancy silverware and fine china, pitchers of wine that are beating with condensation upon the table. Martin stands up from his seat, and he kind of throws his arms wide, and he begins to clap his hands with a large smile. His strong, square jaw is dappled in short, dark, and silver hair. His eyes are smiling, a few wrinkles creasing the corners of them. His hair is shoulder length and black with strands of silver running through them. And he approaches you, Roland, his long fur cape trailing behind him. And with wide open arms, he says, "My cousin!" And he goes to embrace you in a hug.
Yeah, Roland will respond. Ah, the Empire's greatest servant. It's been too long.
Indeed it has. Since your fine wedding day, please, have a seat. There will be plenty of food and drink for all of you. I'm very eager to hear your tales and why you're here. Please, join us.
Well,
He
thank you.
returns back to his seat.
Yorig will kind of motion that everyone else can sit, or if they want to. Or Roland will, not Yorig. Lol.
I'm
York will as well.
I'm just following Miramare wherever Miramare's going. I'm just trusting that they know what they're doing. He knows what he's doing because it's like
Oh my god, Miramare's in his element.
I've been to the I know, and you're like completely ignoring me, and I'm realizing now that you are not interested at all in figuring out what or helping me. So I'm just gonna stand here.
No, as soon as I see you standing, I kind of like scoot the chair next to me out with my foot and like tip my chin at it, like, come on.
Mr. Febble's already returned with silver goblets that he's placing in front of all of you, and a tray of hors d'oeuvres that he lays down. Martin says, "I'm surprised to hear you at our doorstep, cousin. What brings you to Kalen?"
Roland's gonna take his hat off and kind of put it on the back rest of his chair and slick his hair back. Like, well, Martin, I'm afraid I don't come bearing good news.
The smile kind of drops on his face, and he places his goblet back down on the table. I'm sorry to hear that. What news do you come bearing?
Roland's gonna lean forward and kind of start to fiddle with his wedding ring, and he'll say, 6 months ago, assailants broke into my estate back in Glockton, murdered my wife, and took my infant son, Victor.
As you say that, Lady Aveline, who you know, drops her fork and it clings on the table, and she gasps. And Martin kind of just like places a hand on his forehead before reaching over to grip your shoulder tightly. Roland, I'm so sorry.
I thank you. I've come here with purpose. One of the assailants I managed to stop before I succumbed to my wounds. He was one of the Marda, same as Carillion.
You see Martin's face just like you see his brow just like furrow and concentrate as he's like absorbing what you're saying. He says, "Marta, out in Glockton, what in the gods' names would draw them all the way over there for Carillion even?"
Yes, I'm not sure if their purpose was to kidnap Carillion, or if it was an assassination on myself and things got botched. I don't know, but I can tell that it was them who did it.
He takes a deep breath and lets it out. Oh, oh, Roland. You see his eyes kind of linger on his wife. And Mirror, as you're sitting there, um, perhaps filling up a goblet, you notice that Lady Brant has remained pretty quiet in her chair, kind of staring into her teacup. She's wearing a fine primrose pink dress trimmed with white lace. You see, though, that she looks pale, almost shockingly so. But just on a glance, you think maybe it's just more her porcelain skin is just more noticeable against the curls of very dark chestnut hair. Besides the reaction to what Roland said, beyond that, she doesn't seem to pay the group too much mind. She smiles politely but absent-mindedly. Roland, you see as Martin's eyes are kind of lingering on Lady Aveline as you talk about your own wife, and Martin says, "If they're if the Marta did this, they're bound to have come back to one of these isles. Do you know anything about them? Any way we can track them down?"
They'd be traveling with an infant, a young boy, half-elf.
My scouts have told no tales of anything like this.
He's gonna kind of lean back in his chair. I figured that it wouldn't be easy tracking them down, but I figured it'd be best to start here.
Perhaps they wouldn't know what they were looking for, though. A half-elf could blend right in with a troop of elves to a scout's eyes. Perhaps he must be out there, Roland.
Indeed.
Can I insight check Lady Brant to see if this is like if she's ill or if this is because I'm very familiar with noble women who just don't give a fuck about their husbands. Like, can I tell if it's that or if like what's going on here?
That's why I wanted to do a medicine check if I can as well.
Yeah, you can do a medicine check, and Mirror, you can give me an insight check with advantage because this is kind of your world.
I know this, and I got a 16. Damn it.
So, Mirror, she doesn't seem like the other women, the other wives that you've met that have become callous to it all. She's almost like sunken back into her own mind. You almost sense that she's not even present really in the conversation, almost like she couldn't be. And 7 stars, yeah, there's something wrong with her.
Okay. I mean, I'm not very good in social situations like this, but I know enough to shut up, and I'll ask Roland about it later. Because I don't want to like offer, say, "Hey, by the way, you look really sick. Could I help you?"
Mm. Martin says, "So, you've come to Eastwood to find the assassins of your wife and find your dear son Victor. If there's any way that House Brant can help, we will. I will speak straightly with you, Roland. Eastwood is in trouble. I've put many requests in for Empire soldiers with no response. We are barely hanging on. Attacks in the village are becoming a regular occurrence. It seems every time we take a step forward and make progress, building our village up, something happens to send us 2 steps backwards. The woods of the Isles have always been full of monsters, but as of late, they seem to be organized in a way that they never were before when I was leading my own battalion in the war. These creatures are now knowing how and when to strike to inflict the most damage to our community. Our crops continue to fail. We are nearing a point where we are relying from shipped goods from Valcroft, and half the times the ships get lost at sea. The church is so focused building their cathedral. But the wise woman Brioni, she's tried her best. But despite that, things continue to get worse. Roland, we're losing good people all the time. Either to creatures of the wood or strikes from the martyr themselves. I'm worried if I can't get some control here, people will start heading back to the mainland, and the Emperor is sure to demand my head if I can't help Eastwood prosper.
Well, I can tell you this. If Marta are the problem, I come to be a solution. Especially if they're organized. Organization means leadership, and they're the ones that I'd like to talk to.
Indeed. I am very pleased to hear that, Roland. And while we sit here and wait for help from the Empire that seems to never come, if there's any way that I can be of assistance to you and your friends in your quest, I will do my best within my power to help you.
Well, we'll be needing a place to stay in town, and also if you can rerun some questions by your scouts about the possibility of some half-elves traveling with some elves in the last 6 months. The church has an issue with a local mine that they say some Marta are at. I could care less about the church, although the Marta interest me.
Indeed. He says, yes, the mines. A couple of Silverbeard dwarves had a run-in with them at their camp near the mines last night. Only one made it back alive. I spoke with him myself. He told me his tale. His name is Baron Goldmane. I believe he's staying at the Salted Apple. Pretty shook up he is. He's worried about the dwarves left behind at the camp with the ogres. Unfortunately, now the rest of the miners are protesting heading back to the mines for fear of the ogres and the Marta, but it's true, we do need to get the mines going again. It's more than just the church relying on that stone for cathedral construction. The mine is an iron mine, Roland.
Iron in the hands of the enemy is disastrous.
Indeed. And outside of our own hands, our front in the west will fail.
Indeed. Well, it gives me great pleasure to know that clearing out this mine won't just help those greedy hands over at the Abbey. It'll be nice to know it helps the common folk as well.
Lady Aveline stands up from her chair. She kind of looks over at you, Mirror. Her eyes almost like for a moment kind of registering until finally they kind of fall back and she kind of is looking through you once again. And she drops her teacup. Give me a deck save.
I would love to give you a deck save. I really would. Got it.
Yeah, you very
Got it in all the
easily
liquid.
yeah, you catch the teacup, and Lady Aveline just says, I'm sorry," and she stands up and she begins to rush out of the room, while Mr. Febbles comes up beside her and says, "Please, my lady, take my hand. You look weak," and he assists her in leaving. Martin says, "My apologies."
Is she unwell?
Indeed. She's fallen quite ill. Every time she receives healing, it's only a matter of time before she is bedridden again. We've tried everything. Even the abbot himself. Nothing seems to take.
What has the wise woman said?
Brioni, she doesn't know. She's given potions and concoctions, whispered incantations, placed things under her bed to purify her while she slept, and nothing works. Everything, she has a few good days, and then it descends down upon her once again. Until she's bedridden. It's been going on like this.
I want to kind of just raise my eyebrows at Roland, like, I'm willing to take a look, but I'm not speaking.
Out of character, having seen the Green Mile, do I know what it is?
I think I'm missing the reference.
Never mind.
It was like the...
I got you.
I got
I got
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you.
She's got the shine.
I feel valued.
I got you, babe.
All right. Yes. I'll say it. Well, my good friend here. He's a expert in unconventional medicine. Perhaps you could take a look.
Emphasis on that.
That's
Is that so?
Sounds creepy.
I turned to
heard what he said
Mirror.
about halflings.
I think he just called me a witch doctor.
They called you a sex doctor.
Oh no.
Oh,
Martin leans forward and says, "Is this true? You know, you're skilled in healing magics."
I am. I have gifts that have been given to me by the Cat Lord himself. I would like to. I mean, it certainly couldn't hurt. If it's okay with you, I would go check your wife and see if I can tell what is the matter with her. Perhaps
I will
even,
warn you.
if nothing else, maybe I can ease her uncomfort.
Please, I would very much love that. I will warn you.
Mm-hmm.
The best hands in Eastwood have tried.
Well, I certainly am just a humble servant, and I could look and see if I can see, but I don't make any promises. I will do my best though for you and for Lord Roland, his cousin and his wife. I will do anything I can.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then I kind of look at Roland like I'm kind of half standing up, half sitting down. Like, do I go or do I stay?
Oh,
And
Yeah,
Yes.
Mirror wipes his mouth and says, "Pardon me," and just without waiting, just goes and kind of beckons for Seven to follow him.
Okay. It was very nice to meet you, Lord Martin. I will be back in a jiffy. Yes. Okay. Bye. And then I get pulled over.
Yes, absolutely. And the staircase is here before you. There's a guard at the foot of the stairs, and Brant kind of follows you out to the guard and says, "They're going up to see the Lady Aveline. They're going to see if they can tend to her." And the guard kind of has a soft look upon his face and nods. Says, "Of course, of course. I think they'll do just well. I think they'll do quite well. Just up the stairs."
Okay. I have my hand drum in my hand, and I flick it twice, blum blum, and I put my hand on the guard as I go by. The Cat Lord's blessings to you, and then I just keep walking.
And Mirror just kind of smiles placidly and nods to him. He's very much in youngest sibling noble mode where he's like, just, smile.
I'm just trying to fit in. I'm trying to do something that seems noble. It's terribly out of place, but whatever.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi went down there for like 40 seconds.
Oh, I just said as I walked by the guard, I used my hand drum and I flicked it twice to make a little drum sound, and I put my hand on the guard as I walked by. The Cat Lord's blessings to you, and I keep walking like I'm just trying to seem lordly or seem like I'm cultured, and it is doing quite the opposite.
Yes, yes. You see just kind of like a look of visible confusion, but he's okay with that. And you make your way to the top of the stairs, and you see a grand hall. I don't have a second story map here, but you see a grand hall with a deep green carpet kind of running the length of the hallway. And just as described, just at the top of the stairs, there's a grand oak door. It's open just a touch, and you can hear Mr. Febble's voice on the other side of it as he says, "All right, all right, Lady Aveline, please, not too hasty. Sit down on the bed. We'll get you down nice and easy."
And Mirror's just gonna kind of gently knock on the door.
"Oh, one moment." And you hear as as Lady Aveline kind of like gets into bed, and Mr. Febble comes over. You hear like his cane tapping on the hardwood as he makes his way to the door, and he pushes it open. He says, "Oh, did Lord Martin send you up?"
He did. My companion has healing that he may be able to impart upon the lady. I hope she doesn't mind the intrusion.
"Is that so?" You see like almost like hope swell in his eyes. "Yes, please. Lady Aveline, are you quite all right with this?" He looks over her, and she's already kind of like sleeping.
I guess I'd like to walk up and I guess first things first, I'm a realist. I would like to just look at her without like being gross about it. I just want to look over her body, see if, and ask him, has she suffered any sort of wounds, or has she been like stung by any kind of bug, or when did this debilitating effect start taking place? Was there any event or anything that might have precipitated it?
We have tried for so long to rack our minds and pinpoint when it began, and it's hard to say. In my own memory, I believe the first time I saw her fall ill was more than a year ago. Perhaps almost 2. And started slight, sick for a spell. But then she was back to her regular self. But then she got sick again. And that time it was a little longer, a little worse. And it continued like that. Until we've reached a point now where there's many more bad days than good.
Okay, well then, I guess just in an effort to save time, it's going to take me some time to do these as rituals, but the first thing I'd like to do is cast Detect Poison and Disease, and see if anything comes up. And then while I'm doing that, while I'm setting that up, I'm going to ask, whatever, I can't remember his name,
Mr. Febble.
Mr. Febble, to bring out, like, any of her jewelry and things like hair combs, things that she would have on her person, and, like, kind of lay them out on the carpet.
Yeah. He says, oh, of course.
Rings, jewelry, hair combs, hair ties, all that stuff.
He starts doing that. He brings the gown that she was wearing and lays it out. He says, "Do you mind, Lady Aveline?" And you see that she's kind of just nods, and he begins to pull her the rings off her fingers and lays them out.
So she
reaches behind.
She didn't have any physical wounds on her, right? No bite marks or like bruises or anything like that. No?
I mean, you can give me a. If you're getting close, you can give me an investigation check. If you're looking from where you are, you can give me a perception check.
Can I just do a medicine check, like looking for
sure.
like if she'd been stung by a scorpion or something like that? An 18 for medicine.
Yeah. No, she doesn't seem to have any visible injuries.
Let's make sure she didn't use like poison ivy to wipe when she was out in the woods, or
No rashes, no scratches, no markings, no alarming scars.
Ooh, pretty.
And yes, soon Febble returns, and the last thing he lays down is the locket that was around her neck, and he places it like almost like laying it out like the way like a kid lays their clothes out for school the next day.
Okay, so I cast Detect Poison and Disease first. Did that bring up anything?
No.
And then the next thing I would like to do is cast Detect Magic as a ritual. To see if there's anything in the room that... And I'm assuming Mr. Febble would know if she had like any magical like protections, like a ring of shielding or something. Like he'll know what that is. But if there's anything that's magical, like maybe somebody has cursed her, like she has something, you know, like that necklace from Harry Potter that got that one girl.
Yes. Yeah. So the main thing you sense is the locket. You sense transmutation coming off of the locket.
I'm going to ask Mr. Febble about the locket. Does this have a magical effect that she knows of, or how did she get this necklace?
He kind of studies it, looks at it, and says, "Let me think. So many gifts for the lady over the years. Yes. I believe this one was from Lady Brioni.
Oh,
Why
it's
does
not
that name sound familiar?
because she's the one who told everybody to wear onions.
You're right.
So I had to look this up. I don't remember. School of Transmutation. It alters both physical forms and mental qualities. I don't know exactly what it does. I'm trying to figure out what it does exactly.
She's being brainwashed.
You're a
Alright.
student of
General
spells that modify
brainwash.
energy and matter to you. Okay. So she didn't know that that was a magical necklace. Do I get any idea that there might be something negative effect from this necklace?
Possibly. Remember, it's a locket.
Or a
and
locket.
lockets- Yeah.
Can I
lockets-
open the locket and see what's inside the locket?
Yes. So, as you open the locket, give me a wisdom saving throw.
You got it.
Well, that's definitely what's doing it then.
Yep.
12.
Something tumbles out of the locket, and without even a second thought, you reach down to grab it because you know you must have it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, I accidentally clicked that.
I was like, what did this necklace do?
Is there a
Uh,
green crystal in it?
So,
There's totally a green crystal in it.
7 stars. You don't want anyone to know that you this is now yours.
I'm going to try to palm it.
Yes.
Did I
you-
see him try to open the locket though?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
100% you saw me opening it. I've been inquiring about it. We've figured out that the locket is the problem. And then something falls out of it, and I'm going to try to snatch it without you noticing.
Yes,
No.
you're going to do it against his sleight of hand. So yes, just barely. You see as he you don't know what it is, but you see as he pockets something.
Stars.
Yes?
What was in the locket?
There was nothing in the locket, but I feel it is perhaps this locket might have been the problem for her, but I don't think it'll be a problem anymore. But we really should find out who gave this to her. Perhaps whatever they did to this, maybe we can reverse it, and then I'm gonna go, my precious, and then no.
And I say, do you remember the green crystals? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, of course I do. Yes, they were very terrible.
Do you remember the effect that they had on both you and I, and how it changed your perception of how other people should see it? And I'm gonna try to work him around, and I'm trying to give him another save or something.
Yes, you can give me another wisdom save with that.
Okay. 21.
All right. Yes, the grasp of it breaks. You can almost feel it like a film shatter in your mind, and it's no longer has a hold over you.
I'm gonna take the bag off of my the little coin pouch on my belt and take it and turn it over and say, "Don't look at it." And then I'm gonna try to drop something on top of it, like a piece of cloth or something.
Febble says, "No, what was that?"
Is
Don't
it the green
look at
crystal?
It is.
Where
It's a
the
chip
fuck
of it.
did
Yeah.
she get this?
And I'll say, Mr. Peeble, I need you to go downstairs and to have my friends come up here immediately and bring Master Brant with you, please.
Oh, yes, of course. And he hurries. This is the fastest that you've seen him move at this point. And soon, indeed, Mr. Febble arrives back in the room. He says, "Lord Brant, Master Dwarf, your religious advisor is asking for all of your presence in the Lady Aveline's room."
Very quickly, come on.
Hopefully not another hairball.
Oh my God, with the cat jokes.
Martin rushes. He's filled with worry at the sight of with hearing that, and he rushes up the stairs. And soon, at the top of the stairs, you see the oaken doors open, and 7 stars with the covering up something on the ground. Lady Aveline is kind of like sitting up now. She's wearing a nightgown. She's modestly covered, and Mirror kind of standing off to the side.
I heard the comment about the hairballs, and I will forgive you this once. But I think we have discovered the culprit. Do you remember these green crystals? And then I'll talk. I'm talking to the group. I know Is it Martin Brant?
Yes.
I know he's listening, but I'm talking to the group. The green crystals. Apparently, she was giving a necklace from this Brioni woman who has the onion necklaces. And the piece of this crystal was inside this locket. I think she may have been intentionally cursed. But she should be fine now if she doesn't wear this necklace anymore. And I'm kind of pointing at the cloth that's covering up the little piece of crystal. We've encountered this before, and I think perhaps your wife was intentionally, I'm pretty sure it was intentionally cursed. But she should be fine now.
Martin kind of just shakes his head in disbelief. He says, That was a gift, a birthday gift to my wife from Lady Brioni. She wouldn't do. What do you mean? You're saying?
Martin, do you remember Evertide? We went there when we were kids.
Of course.
The entire town is in ruin, caused by a mass of these similar crystals.
I've heard of the fall of Evertide, but I didn't know whatever caused it. You're saying my wife has been carrying around a bit of crystal that has brought the downfall of Evertide?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
This makes no sense.
Well,
Why would Brioni do this?
I
She
can
must not know.
guarantee-
She wouldn't have known. She's been here to heal her. She wouldn't have known.
Martin, we'll look into it for you. How's that? You take
Yes.
some time and rest with your wife.
But
Yes, of course.
don't mention it to Brioni.
Yes.
Of course.
We'd like to ask her some questions, unprompted.
Aye.
May I have this
Yes.
locket?
Yes, sure.
I'm gonna use the locket and I'm gonna scoop that piece back up and I'm gonna wrap it up like in a piece of leather, so that it's not touching anybody's skin. And I'm gonna put it back in my bag because I think we'll give it back to Miss Brioni. Let her put it on for a while.
Martin says, "You're right. I will take this time with Aveline, and time will tell if this is the cause of her sickness. I hope it is, with everything inside of me."
Indeed. In the meantime, I think that we'll all get some rooms at the Salted Apple.
Of course, just tell them it's on House Brant.
Okay.
And I say, which one?
This
I'm going right back to being an idiot.
This one, he says, "Mr. Febble, before we can work out something official, give them some gold." Yeah, yes, of course, my master. Now, if the lot of you will follow me, I will set you up with that, and you can be on your way.
After we did the whole necklace conversation, I went back over to the lady and just kind of put my hand on her brow to try to calm her, and then I cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level for 12 healing to see if that eases any of her. See if any color comes back to her.
We lost him again.
Oh, I thought
sorry.
I thought maybe I said something stupid. And I was like, he's like, okay, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Alright.
No, sorry, I hit mute on myself. Yeah, you see that it kind of like eases her, relaxes her. And she's actually kind of like making eye contact with you now. She just says, "Thank you. I feel feel good."
Well, I'm happy. Lady Aveline, you get some rest. I think you maybe will find yourself feeling better without this, this necklace has been causing you a great deal of trouble, and you deserve to feel good for a while. So we will say goodbye for now, and I'll come and check on you again tomorrow.
Yes, I think I need some rest. And with that, Martin kind of comes over to the side of her bed and kneels and takes both of her hands and kisses her on the forehead. And Mr. Fibble says, "All right, follow me." And he leads you down to the main antechamber and out the front doors. And on your way out, he says, "Now, this must be a gift from Ava herself. Quite the fortunate visit, Sir Roland." Um, and you see that he's picked up a small box on his way out of Lady Aveline's room, and he hands it over to you. He says, "This will take care of you for a while, until Lord Martin can make more permanent arrangements for you."
Thank you.
Hey, can you ask him where we can find Lady Brioni? I think we maybe need to speak with her soon.
Oh, yes. Do you know where the lady is?
Yes, Brioni is located on the outskirts of town, but I should tell you she's not currently home. She's on one of her out-of-town journeys. She takes them moderately regularly.
Okay.
That's not suspicious at all.
I think that sounds like the perfect opportunity for a caper.
Ooh.
Oh, a caper's a type of fish. Very delicious.
Oh yeah,
Goodbye.
I said it in Brooke's voice. Not, I didn't say that out loud as me, but I think we definitely need to go and investigate her place.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, break in.
Yeah. Well, you know where to find us.
I kind of stop before I walk away and I say,
Pardon, I don't mean to impress upon your hospitality further.
Of course, Lord Aspenwish.
Is there a courier company in town, perhaps, that has begun transferring between the isles yet?
Oh, indeed there is. You need to send a message. Yes.
Yes.
The Broken Ghost Company at the North Dock. Yes, they make many trips. Some of the more reliable ships and sailors. They take mail and packages over to the mainland on a regular basis.
He's probably looking for one. His fiance used to work there, and Roland's gonna kind of laugh to himself as he steps away like a schoolgirl.
and Mirror just flushes brilliantly and says absolutely nothing about it and says,
Thank you very much, Mr. Pebbles. You've been quite helpful, and I hope that we brought the lady some peace.
Indeed, and please give our regards to House Aspenwish. It's been a long time since Lord Brant has seen your mother and father.
and I say,
Of course, I will let them know.
post haste. I'm absolutely not telling my parents where I am. There's no way in hell that I'm telling them where I am.
Yes. So you leave the manor. Roland, the chest that he handed you is heavy.
How heavy?
Is it heavier than a keg of Gentle Monk Ale?
with your discerning grip, um, maybe 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh my
Holy
goodness.
shit!
Holy moly.
Yorick is very heavily eyeing the box.
Not to worry, my friends. We'll split it evenly. And I
One
will...
for me, two for you.
Yes. And I will hand everyone 200 gold pieces, and I will save 200 for Hal.
Very nice. We are
Rich.
probably getting close to the end of the session, so where do you guys want to go?
The salted apple to sleep.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
probably need to go to Salted Apple and get some rest, and then maybe make a trip out of town to Lady Brioni's place to scope it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
indeed.
I have some RP stuff for Hal about the church over the course of the week, but I'll give him a few days to watch the videos first.
I too have some roleplay stuff.
Ooh.
You make your way to the Salted Apple. It's
Make it
a humble, tavern. There's a few. There's two familiar faces up at the bar, Smirk and Herring, who've got a few empty mugs in front of them and working on one as you enter. There's a few interesting looking faces around. A table over here of some individuals that look a little more well armed and a half-orc woman sitting at a table by herself. In fact, Roland, as you enter, her eyes are like lock on you for a second until she quickly like averts her gaze rather when she notices that you look over at her and she stares like very pointedly into her mug.
Is that Moon?
It's the same token, yes.
Oh, yeah.
uh, yes, and there's a man and woman behind the bar. The woman says, "Oh, more travelers. I don't recognize your faces. Welcome to the Salted Apple."
A pleasure to meet you. Roland is gonna kind of just walk up and say, Sir Roland Brant, the pleasure is mine.
She gasps.
Yeah. I
Ah.
know. Please. It's been quite the day. And he's gonna pull out like this, like a pretty sizable like sack of coin. He'll be like, listen, I'm gonna need some beds for my companions and I for an extended stay.
Yes, of course, of course.
Can I start a tab?
Indeed. You notice that the man here, when you said your name, it like picked up a rag and just started cleaning the bar, like very just scrubbing with muscle.
Please, my good man. It's quite all right. I don't expect any special treatment whilst here.
Well, yes, yes. There's many rooms upstairs, and you're welcome to them.
Excellent. Thank you.
Now, can I be getting you anything?
I think I will take a beer at that table over there.
Yes, and the man pours you a nice, fresh mug of Gentle Monk.
Yes, excellent. Roland's gonna point at Yorick and say, his drinks are on me as well.
You're making a big mistake.
Yes, and he just starts filling these large pewter mugs full of monk rather, and placing them on the bar in front of you all. And Smirk is like, "All right." The half orc, she says, She kind of looks up as you sit down and looks back down into her mug. Says, "Hi."
Hello. I hope you don't mind. Was the seat taken?
She just shakes her head.
Oh. I just you looked at me with purpose, so I wasn't sure if, you know, what's been going on. If you needed
Oh.
anything.
Lord Brant. Yes. My apologies. The name's Missoura. Missoura Zira. I've actually just arrived from Glockton.
Oh, do I know her?
No.
Oh. Oh. Well, I could say the same. Although I don't recognize the face or the name.
No, you wouldn't. I'm just a commoner. I landed here just a few days ago. You see, I actually left Glockton because of the turmoil in town.
The what?
Oh no.
You know, your your wife.
Oh. Oh, yes. Yes. I thought you meant, like, things from, like, a general standpoint. Like, the town wasn't on fire when you left, correct?
No, but people are still scared. A noble was assassinated. I'm sorry. She like kind of like stops herself from like saying it. She says, "I'm sorry."
No. No, it's actually why I've come here myself.
Seemed like a good a time as any to leave. I'm looking for work. I hear the Broken Coast Company is hiring miners. And as she says that, this table just kind of goes, starts booing.
Are they no good, gentlemen?
Ah! Fuck them. We're on strike. We're not
See.
going back to the mines.
Yes, because of the ogres, I hear.
That's right.
Understand. Well, I will tell you what, Masira. How much coin do you have to your name right now?
I've got enough to make do. I don't want to be troubling you.
It's no trouble at all. Way I see it, you're Glockton breed, which means you fall under my jurisdiction. And I'm gonna hand her 10 gold pieces. And I'll say,
She scoops them up. She says, "Thank you, my lord."
you just hold out on that that mining job for now. Sounds like that we have some things to look into.
Okay. I thank you.
Of course. I'm just gonna light my pipe, start puffing.
What are the rest of you up to?
Mirror is asking for increasingly ludicrous things from this poor barkeep.
Such as?
Honeyed fruit tower. No. How about fresh cider? No. Sparkling pear. Seriously, come on. Sparkling pear juice? Nothing? And he's like, he eventually just kind of like.
Yes,
and
you all see this
presses
woman
his-
very flustered. She's like, "No, I'm sorry, sir. No."
He's just like, whatever. And he like flaps a hand and like gets glitter on the bar. And he's just like, anything. Vegetarian.
Oh.
Anything.
Indeed, you know the crops have been so bad, right? I think I have a few
Ale is
tomatoes.
fine.
Yeah, she pours you an ale and a plate of sliced tomatoes. Just, it's not much, but
No, he looks like over the moon, and he hands her a gold, and he says, "I love you," and then turns around and walks away.
She blushes. The man says, "Well, my name is Lore, and if there's anything you need from me, I will be setting up your rooms." And he heads off. And though there is not quite enough beds on the map, we will say that there definitely is.
There isn't gonna be a
Right.
there was only one bed scenario.
Yes, and yeah, he leaves to set up the rooms for you all, maybe setting up a few cots and that kind of thing.
I'll say, Sir Roland, you have 3 minutes to get your hand off my thigh.
What? What?
When I see, I would have just walked up and put my arms around Smirk, and Herring and say, "Oh, it's been so long since we've seen each other. It's been almost an hour." And I remember I told you I would tell you the story about the Crystalline Centaur. So, and he goes and and I just kind of trail off into the story, and we tell him about the centaur that's made out of crystal.
Very nice, very nice. And so I'm guessing you guys are all ready to kind of just like we'll end the session with you guys going to bed here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
the last thing I'll say. After a evening of leisure, kind of stretching your legs out after a voyage across the narrow sea, you eventually make your way up to your bedchambers that have been made exceptionally well for you. The sheets and blankets are tucked in tight. The pillows are plumped for you, and as you settle in for the night, and the moon rises, the gentle moonlight falls through the windows. 7 stars. As you're laying in bed, you hear a little something at the window.
Okay, I'll go to the window.
Don't go to the window.
There's a bit of roof overhanging at the window. Your night vision is strong. It's very good, and you look out the window, find the source of the sound, and a thin, missing a lot of its fur. It has half a tail. One eye is closed, a snaggle tooth, and a dry-looking nose. Cat. It looks up at you in the window, seems to wink its one good eye, and hops down off the roof. And that's where we'll end the session for tonight.
A cat, not a cat person.
A cat.
Okay.
Yes.
You're so excited.
There's another cat.
All I will say is the wink felt like it wanted you to follow.
I 100% know that cat wants me to follow it. Cats don't wink at people. I'm out the door. Like, as soon as you say that, I'm already crawling out the window.
Very nice. Well, nice job, everybody. I hope you had a good time. I enjoyed myself, and I'm looking forward to next week, which is a
Indeed.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wed-
Next week.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Hump day. Let's do it.
All right.
Full
I will
crew.
stop recording, and I'll figure out how to get these videos posted, and I'll post like a YouTube link or something for these for Hal. If you want to share them with your, I guess he'll see them. I was gonna say you could share them with your dad, but he'll see them.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Great
Thank
job,
you very
Seth.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you all in the roleplay chat.
That's right.
Absolutely,
Yes.
instantly.
Immediately.
Yes.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.
Good night.